What's up, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Killing Floor 2. This time we are on Evacuation Point. Difficulty obviously hell on earth, as we are trying to get this achievement. We are starting as SWAT, because we won't be armor, and with second pistol. And let's jump right into it, shall we? That's a good starting spot. So for the first wave, you don't really get any opponents that can be a threat to you. Now, some people said, well, if you truly want to do the easiest way on every map, you might as well call it a how to play Berserker on every map guide. And honestly, I disagree. I don't think Berserker is necessarily the best on each map. Now, Berserker is one of the few perks that you can easily run on each map and expect to do well with. It is that good. But I think on some maps other perks just have natural benefits. And shockingly, very shockingly, I have heard and seen people, I've heard people say and I've seen people that I actually struggle on this map as Berserker, and I was like, well, why? So I went online, I spectated a few matches, I asked a few people, and what I found was they did not like this map as a kiting map. Now what do I mean by they did not like this? I mean, it's a little suspect, but basically what their issue was, or what I've seen in the games I spectated, was they had trouble with the stairways, with the doors, and just getting stuck on them, getting trapped of having traffic on both sides. Like here, I would try to kite through, kill something here, will go up, they're blocked, two bloats, go back, get burned by a flamethrower or something, and they're dead. And this is why we are trying to pick something which is a little more stationary, which doesn't force us to run around as much. And the easiest perk for the early waves is SWAT, hands down. Because you don't need anything that costs tremendous amounts of money to have a good setup. This is more than good enough. You got the P90, it will do the job. Now, your biggest enemy is Gore Fiends, in my opinion, because of your low damage. And the reason why I chose that as my starting spot for the wave, like the spot over there, is because you have 3 paths to escape depending on where the brunt of the Zeds will be coming from. And then you just choose the other path to go. Killed all of this. And basically once you do escape, you have a nice little train behind you, and you can just lay your fire into that train. And, well, everything will die. Apart from Gore Fiends. Gore Fiends never die. I hate those. I hear a stalker. There's another point I wanted to bring up. You can actually hear the Zeds reasonably well. And if you're in a spot like this and you hear something behind you, you can actually hear that pretty well, so you know there's something behind you that you need to watch out for. And I have seen and noticed that not many people actually use the sound. I mean, obviously the music is a part of it. Like they just blast music and, well, that's kind of a hindrance there, I guess. But that's alright, to each their own, obviously. But, you know. So, for third wave, SWAT is still great, because you won't be getting multiple flesh pounds, usually on wave 3. And that's really the one weakness of SWAT, is multiple flesh pounds. Now, one of them is pretty easy to deal with. Just throw a flashbang, take its head off. But the issue with multiple ones is you don't have a way of quickly disposing of them. So you're almost forced to run, or you get lucky and you meet them in a spot where you just are not contested and you get free shots on all of them. But the time it takes to kill 3 flesh pounds on SWAT is usually too long, so it's pretty tough to get clear shots on them. And once you do have to start kiting against flesh pounds, you can do it, especially if you parry, then it becomes really easy. But you will take continuous damage. It's not like Scrakes, which you can just carry behind you. Flesh pounds will rage. They are a problem. You need to deal with them. As we end that little Z fight. But you do need to deal with flesh pounds, because they will rage, they will damage you, and they will drain your health or your armor, depending on the situation you're in. And whether you still have armor. So, that being said, I would rather, for wave 4, have something that can quickly dispose of flesh pounds. Because we also don't have the luxury of Zerka of just being able to tank everything. And as we have already established, we don't really want to kite too much anyway, for the reasons previously stated. So again, we want something that is able to control the trash and kill the flesh pounds quickly. Oh, there's a flesh pound. Speak of the devil, huh? However, we were very lucky here, because he was alone. There's literally nothing around us. We could easily take him. Let's say you get 3 flesh pounds at the start of a wave. You cannot do that. You cannot do it like that if you're surrounded. And that is why we will make a switch. Now, what will we switch into? What perk can quickly dispose of the flesh pounds, but also has the trash clearing capability? Well, you'd probably say support or something. We are going commando. Yes, we are. Stoner, Scar, done. Why the Stoner, you might ask? Well, the Stoner's main weakness is its damage. Now think about what are we doing here? We are playing solo, so the Zeds have relatively little health, so the lack of damage is really not too big of a concern to us. What is a concern to us is the number of Zeds that can arrive. And there really is no weapon That is a lot better at dealing with a large number of Zeds. Maybe if you go Firebug, but we just did that and I don't think it's the ideal choice. Because there isn't too many real choke points. So I hope we can actually get to see what I mean. I mean, you never know how a wave will go. Maybe we don't get to see why this weapon shines in those situations. Maybe we will, I don't know. The important thing is, be aware of your surroundings. You do not want to get encircled, you do not want to be trapped, because that is a death sentence. And obviously you don't want to die. Bad aim. Here's another thing, if you're not that great with your aim, just light things up. You got 75 shots. Holy shit. That was a bad idea. Don't do what I just did. That was a terrible idea. In that situation you need to back up. I've made a terrible decision and I'm just glad I didn't pay for it. And now we get the flesh pounds. Now we get to see what I mean by, well, you can just dispose of them rather quickly. Oh, we have another one. Well, if necessary you can just do this if the grenades are not enough. That's why I also picked the Scar for the higher damage. And here we saw why the Stoner was good, because I just had enough shots to kill all of it what was surrounding me. So what is the verdict of this wave? What have we shown here? First of all, we have shown Commando is a strong perk for all the doubters. Then we have shown you can make mistakes like I did with the Husk thing and still come out victorious. And then we have shown know the map, know where to go, and don't panic. You often have a variety of options how to kill something, e.g. take the Scar instead of the grenades, which we didn't have on offer, and it works. It does work.
Is it just me, or is it hard to see much?
More Zeds on the way.
But you could see how easy it was to take down the double flesh pound. With SWAT you have a far harder time doing that.
Come and get your tool.
And now obviously this should carry you the rest of the way.
Hurry up. Zeds are getting closer.
It is just on literally every map by far the best way of killing a boss.
Time's up. Go kill some Zeds.
It's so far better than everything else at that, in solo play especially, that you really cannot argue it.
I shall exterminate you.
No, you will not exterminate me. I'm playing Berserker. I'm sorry. Sorry to burst your bubble. Hey, we actually hit some shots for a change.
Fools! That was the easy part.
Bam!
Enough of these little attacks. Here is something more to think about.
You know, when your aim is on with this weapon, it's actually really good. just pretty hard to actually hit a shot with this thing. Yeah, run away. Uh-oh, I didn't hit. Get him! Oh shit. Go away. That's unfortunate we didn't get to kill him out of his shield, but that's good enough as well, I guess. Boom. So yeah, this map not too difficult. I think you can do this too, and you can finally play some other perks. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you can do this, get the achievement. And until next time, farewell.